everyone. I just wanted to update you guys on what has happened as a result of me speaking out about the situation at Greyhaven and what I experienced, and of course, also posting an interview about what a volunteer had experienced. So, you may already know that I've basically been banned from Night Owl Bird Hospital despite the phone call that I had with Dr. McDonald, where I had made it very clear that I am willing to talk and help come out with ideas to improve the situation. That was my last conversation with her. I did not make any other contact. So to me, when it happened, the ban was very out of the blue. And then as a result of that, I'm also not able to take Dandelion to Allendale anymore. This was interesting because conflict of interest with Night Owl was mentioned. This is interesting because I had reached out for a statement from Dr. Miller to confirm that the photo was not causing Sweet Pea any stress, and to confirm what she had said about Honeysuckle's situation when he had passed away. So effectively, I've basically been walled out of getting a professional statement from the person who made the statement. So Dandelion also cannot get a ultrasound locally anymore, and this is because Greyhaven had apparently contacted Capitol Hill, according to this email, and informed them of what's going on. So now Dandelion can't get that. There were also some comments where I had mentioned them, explaining why I felt comfortable going there because of, rumors I had heard around town. I would have taken them down if they had just asked that and not mentioned them. I would have respected that 100%. I have actually taken down those comments, even though they did not ask that of me, because I can respect that. But I do have to share this email because it shows that Greyhaven did in fact reach out to them. There's some sort of irony there, because if you look at the email that I had initially sent about these concerns that I had, it was about medical care. And I also say in that email that things should be pushed towards a better direction. I've never been like, we need to shut down Greyhaven. I've always wanted things to improve. And I'm including the email here because then you don't have to go look for it. And regarding what I was reaching out to Dr. Miller about, here is what Catherine, one of the directors, had posted in their Facebook group. They're making false accusations about how I was treating Sweet Pea, and there's clear evidence on my social media that I will include that shows that she was happy. The photos made her happy. I don't need a doctor's statement to prove that. She was hopping, she was going in her cage again, she was eating. It was good for her. I'm not saying it's good for every bird. You should monitor the way your bird reacts to photos before giving them access to one, but it can help. The thing about Catherine's post on the Facebook group is that it also spread into their Google reviews. It spread into my comments. People basically spread this misinformation that I was basically hurting Sweet Pea, and that's another issue, right? And even though she didn't name me in the post, it was obvious who it was, because this person had posted my face and my username in their Google reviews, and this was not something that I wanted to happen. If there were any reviews that were left, I wanted them to be honest and actually review things about the practice that could be improved upon. I didn't appreciate my face being put there like that. And then when I posted my videos, you can find these people who are posting my full name, my last name, all over things. And it's ironic because there's all these things about privacy that they seem to be concerned about. I don't post my name anywhere on my Lovebird social media. It's really not about me, it's about the birds. I'm not the star of it. Dandelion is right now, and Sweet Pea and Honeysuckle forever will be. They're the only names that matter. I want to make it clear that all the directors that I have named, they are public faces. And I've been getting a lot of these comments saying that, they have limited resources and that I shouldn't go public with harsh criticism when the email I had initially shared, that was private. That was a year ago and it was private. So I don't know where they're coming up with this idea that I didn't try to do this privately first. And I don't know where they're also getting this idea that I have no idea about what their resources are like. Because if you just go to charitydata.ca, you can find them. Okay, you can look at how their financial stuff looked before and after the World Parrot Refuge. And you can see that their assets have increased since the World Parrot Refuge. There was a time when they weren't doing that great because, they had to take on debt. Their revenue did increase overall. And you can see basically by 2019, the debt that they were in because of the World Parrot Refuge, they were basically out of it. The total liabilities they have left over is not anything that they can't pay off. Their expenditures have remained pretty consistent and is less than their revenue. And you can see that they started having employees when the World Parrot Refuge incident happened. And then by 2019, matching when their liabilities, they were basically, out of the red, that their employees had also decreased a lot. But then the last few years, you can see that their amount of employees also went up. Those are part-time, but, I'm sharing all this data so you guys can make your own decision on whether or not you think that they can afford what I was actually even concerned about. Because I want to make it known that I didn't have any grand plan where I was like, every single bird that comes in, they need like a full physical. I want you to spend $1,000 on each bird. I had no intentions of suggesting anything like that. It was purely for a situation where it was like, sweet pea and honeysuckles, where one had a stroke, the other didn't. The stroke turned out to be caused by plaque built up in the heart, which is, something that is a lifestyle thing. So it would make sense to check out the other bird. These are just like old birds or birds that where something can be wrong. And here's the bill, right? For Sweet Pea to get her ultrasounds and x-rays and to just get started on medicine. And it's about the same as having a cremation and little feet prints done for honey. And I look at how much revenue they had left over in 2023, and that was like 200,000. I think to myself, and this wasn't even thinking of like getting a third facility, It was just like, hey, do you think they could afford this? Not for every single bird, but for the birds where they knew that something could be wrong. And you can say that, the stress of going to a vet. Every vet that I've been to, they prepare a little oxygen chamber for the bird if they're getting stressed. And not only that, if the bird is, in a rescue with limited space, they're probably in a fairly compact cage you can probably put in a car. So you don't have to move them from their safe space. You don't have to carrier train them. But you could carrier train them. And that's what I did to make sure that, Sweet Pea and Honey felt safe traveling to the vet and that they could have a safe place while traveling. And it worked great for them. And I understand the idea where you're thinking, okay, we have to consider what if they never get another donation? Like, what will happen to the birds if they have to close? Do they have enough money to take care of them, to, buy them time to be rehomed? And I did look at, their financial stuff to consider that. And you can scroll back and have a look and decide for yourself if you think that they have a rainy day fund and if they can afford to look at the birds that they know are high risk for having health issues and to, get them started on medicine. Because I want to make it very clear that Jenny is very good at what she does. I've never criticized her ability to adopt out birds. She's adopted out like over 100 birds last year. At least that's what I heard from Dr. McDonald. I'm not even thinking a long-term situation. And of course, if you're worried about the long-term situation and if they're difficult to place, you can watch the interview with a volunteer and the phone call with Dr. McDonald, because there were ideas that were tossed around about what we could do to make things better so that the difficult to place birds could find homes quickly. Anyways, There are some Bible passages that I want to share with you guys because some commenters think that because certain people and organizations do good, that they cannot do bad, or just use it as reason to not acknowledge the ways that they could improve. So here's the first one. Indeed, there is no one on earth who is righteous, no one who does what is right and never sins. And I want you guys to remember this and apply it to everyone, including me, because no one's perfect. And I want to share John 8, 1-11, because I feel like a lot of us are throwing stones on the internet right now. But Jesus went to the Mount of Olives. At dawn he appeared again in the temple courts, where all the people gathered around him, and he sat down to teach them. The teachers of the law and the Pharisees brought in a woman caught in adultery. They made her and before the group and said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone such women. Now what do you say?" They were using this question as a trap in order to have a basis for accusing him. But Jesus bent down and started to write in the ground with his finger. When they kept on questioning him, he straightened up and said to them, "Let any one of you who is without sin be the first to throw a stone at her." Again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. At this, those who heard began to go away, one at a time, the older ones first, until only Jesus was left, with the woman standing there. Jesus straightened up and asked her, "Woman, where are they? Has no one condemned you?" "No one, sir," she said. "Then neither do I condemn you," Jesus declared. "Go now and leave your life of sin." And for those of you who say that I should take down my videos and retract all my statements, I will not bear false witness. I'm not doing this to throw stones. I am doing this in the hopes that things improve for the birds. I made this video to highlight the response because I don't think this is productive. I don't think that this kind of response is going to help the birds. And I hope that these videos do bring awareness to the issue so that things can improve. And the reason why I highlight the comment that I did and shared the charity data information is not because I want to throw anyone under the bus. It's because I find that those comments are misleading because they don't seem to have even read my initial email. And they're also not fully transparent about the financial situation. Anyways, I hope that everyone can move forward in a positive direction. Because I'm not mad at anyone. I want to be clear about that. I just want things to improve. God bless. And I hope you and your birds are all doing well.